Hi and welcome to my channel. So today I'm sat here in my craft room messing, as you do, and I thought, why don't I show you partly what I'm doing and explain my reasons why. So I was browsing through Facebook, as you do, having a look on the scrappy pages, as you do, and I actually can't remember where I saw it due to the fact that I was just browsing and then the idea went round in my head, but somebody asked for ways of storing ephemera, and they also asked for pictures if possible, but basically looking at that way. And I've always used, or have for a while, I've always used these iris containers which I got shipped over from Amazon.com, and they're great for being able to root through and whatever else. But if you're anything like me, especially in a British craft room, the rooms are quite small. So this was the best I'd found so far. But whether it was a long-term solution in the space they take, I was a bit unsure. Anyway, then somebody posted how they use DVD sleeves, plastic ones, to store their ephemera. And I was like, ooh. Because then I can fit more in a small space, which gives me an excuse to buy more. You see my thinking? So anyway, I was ordering some bits from Amazon anyway, so I picked up these. So these are 100 micron, and I got a pack of 100 for under £4, which I think is a bargain. And if I ever get through 100, that will be shocking, though it wouldn't surprise me if I did. But anyway, so I've got those. So I started quite happily popping bits into packets, and then I thought, hang on, let's show other people what I'm doing. So at the moment I've got a few in. So simple stories, these going great. I've got the little cards from it in the back showing me what I've got. And then I've got the manufacturer and the collection. I've popped that on the front. Now I have decided to do my labels at the bottom because they look nice. If I do find that I'm looking for a particular collection quite often, then I may move them to the top. But we'll see how that goes. So I've got the simple stories in, a few different simple stories ones. I'm sure other people have more and others have less. I've got a fancy pants happy place. Now that is some labels and some ephemera because I've actually used quite a bit of that. And then I've got Pink Fresh Studio Indigo Hills, and I've chopped that down to be able to see everything that's in it. So already the organisational person in me likes the fact that they're all in the same packaging. I like the fact that I can flip through when I find a suitable container, and I can sort of see what sort of colour schemes they are. The thing I'll have to see is when I'm actually working with them, whether I'll end up with ephemera all over my desk and not where it's supposed to be. But anyway, so yeah, so going back to it, I haven't put them all in yet. I just thought I'd show you the process I go through doing that. I will show you that I currently use the Dymo letter tag, and for the labels on here, so that I could fit some of the longer ones in. So, no, where's the longest one I've done so far? So the longest one I've done so far is Simple Stories, Sunshine and Happiness. And I'm one of these people, I don't like to shorten simple stories to SS. I think it's part of me in case another company comes out that's the initials SS. Anyway, yeah, it's one of my quirks. So anyway, that's the longest label, and it's still not reached the end. So I think that's done quite well. So anyway, I've used the Dymo letter tag, and I have had the setting for it on medium. So if anybody else has got this one, I also use the paper tape in this. Paper white. You can get the likes of gloss white, but I like the matte finish. on the paper white. So that's what I've used to create my labels. So a few that I've got here ready to do with you guys is I've got some of my Kaiser that are currently in the boxes. Now with these I have already cut the back off when I put them into the boxes and they fit. So I just pop the back in and then pop all the pieces in as well. Now some of them, depending on how much I've used them and how big the pieces are, do fill these quite a bit. But I've not had anything yet, I say yet, that doesn't fit in, which is always a plus. And then you can just tuck these little flaps in, but I do, for the sake of safety, I like to pop a little bit of tape on, and for that I'm using the Scotch tape. Comes in a little dispenser, sticks onto the side and just gives you a perfect little piece of tape just to secure the back, and means that you're less likely to lose any bits if you manage to drop the whole box on the floor. So that has already gone from something that size to that size. So I reckon storage wise, especially in my little craft space, I'm going to get a lot better. So this is now my Kaiser off the wall. There's a few bits that might test it now. I've got a few longer pieces in here. Okay, so the longer pieces, we see this long film strip is going to be fun. It has hit the end. So I think there's 2 of those. Other than that, they do all fit in. So there is going to be the odd little exception to the rule, but for me now, that's now going to be a challenge that I need to use that up. And again, I'm just going to tape this down. And I do find with this Scotch tape as well, just in case you're wondering, it comes up really easy and reseals really easy. That's why I like it for my presents as well. Plus I don't like cutting them all. And then we've got the Kaiser Hello Today. So these are sort of generic ones. Now my other thing and my other reason for really liking this idea, and big apologies to the fact I don't know who to credit for it, is that I like to keep collections together. So especially when I'm first using them, like I will mix things up, especially in my project life, and if I know I'm looking for a particular symbol or I know there's a particular colour scheme, then I will quite happily dip into something else. I don't have to use the same collection. But I do find that using the same collection is very helpful to me colours wise, because I am quite funny over colour shades matching unless I'm doing a monochromatic layout on purpose. So this is also helpful for me in the fact that when I have the papers for these, of which I know I do for the example of the Simple Stories Love and Adore, is this will go in with my papers, in with all the collectible bits together, and this takes up a lot less space than some can. So, if I can find it. So for example, some ephemera, like this out of one of my kits, comes in this box, and that can, while it protects the ephemera, it can be quite bulky by the time you've put all your other bits in as well. So I do like the fact that these are quite thin, as well as the fact that they just stack lovely. So, and the last couple of ones I've got here ready I will have more, but I am in the tidy up. I've got the Fancy Pants Joy Parade. Now, one of these did make me think, is it going to fit? It was that one. And you know what? I thought it was going to, apart from that little tab on the top. Oh no, we're still going to fit. So let's pop these tags in. Now I did also notice that Fancy Pants, their ephemera packs especially, are jam-packed. So let's get this in, which is the tags and labels. And then what I've done is I just take the packaging, and depending on how the packaging is laid out, depends on what I cut off to make it fit. So on this one, it will be all the branding, because that's what not showing me what's in the ephemera, but would make it too big to fit in. So this one, due to that top tag, see, I say due to this top tag, so the tag would fit in if it wasn't for that top little bit. Now, I also know what I'm like as a scrapbooker, and I'm not likely to use that top little bit. So for me personally, I'm going to chop that off so that it fits in nice. If I was going to use that and was a likely scrapper to use it, I could still fold over the flap, just not where it's scored. Or of course it could be left out. But I know what I'm like, and I'd rather have that shut than have that little tab on it that I know I'm not going to use. So that is the Joy Parade, the tags. And then I do also have the Joy Parade ephemera. Now, as I've just said, there is absolutely loads in this. Now, there was two ways I was thinking of popping this into this packaging. Let me just move so I can sit. Yeah, there's two ways I'm thinking of doing this. It's either to pop it all in together, which I will see what that's like. And I think that's going to be too full and bulky for my liking, because I haven't even got half of this in. The other thought was, on the packaging, there's actually two different sections. Can we see that? So what I am more likely to do, and why I printed the label twice more, is I'm going to actually split the ephemera up according to which side of the packaging it's on. Now, for some, that is far too much effort, and I don't blame you. For me, I know for my peace of mind, and especially if I see a piece of ephemera on the back that is the one I will want, I don't mind sitting here and working out which goes on which, because for me that will work better. So I'm just going to start quickly sorting through as to which ones they have all come from. These are going to be the fun ones. Oh, they're all from there. So there we go. They're now both split into their two packets according to what is in which one. And I much prefer that for thickness size, and also for being able to see what's in the packet according to the packaging. But they would have all fit into the same one. As I say, that's just me. So pop those in there. And there we go. So I've now got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 lots of ephemera taking up this much space. Ooh. Oh, they do pop up if you squeeze them too much. So compared to, that's just 3 boxes. So with the other 2 that I've taken out of boxes, which were some of these fancy pants ones, imagine how much space I'm saving, which means I can fill it up with more. So anyway, that's my little project for this evening. I do need to do a little bit of digging to see where the rest of some of my ephemera is. I do know I have some new Kaiser ephemera because I have just come back from Australia. However, I want to do my whole video on that first. And in order to do that, I want to tidy up my craft room because at the minute it's sort of in a nice neat pile in the kitchen. And if I bring it in here, I'll be in more mess than I am now. So yeah, my thought is to get stuff a little bit straighter in this space before I add more, but then I am hoping to get the whole video done for you for there. But I hope you do like this quick little video on the organisation of my ephemera, and I'll have to see how that goes as and when I'm scrapping with it. I hope to do more little organisational videos as and when I can, just showing you the different ways I store some of my things. And yeah, any comments, suggestions, feel free to give me a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.